Hello everyone, this is Tetsuya. Thank you so much for watching my video again today. Do you know the fact when Japanese people move to other countries after retirement? Japanese people often choose Malaysia as their destination. This is the data I found on some web page. And if you see this, you can see these words at the top in every year. And this means Malaysia in Japanese alphabet. As is seen here, Malaysia is always at the top country for Japanese people to want to move to. Today, I am going to explain why for this, introducing 10 factors in combination. This combination certainly attracts a lot of Japanese people to Malaysia. So let me get started. 1. Cost of living. In Malaysia, the cost of living is much lower than in Japan. Everything is very cheap, but the quality is sufficient in most of the cases. As of 2019, if you have one meal in Japan, even though the price of Japanese food is relatively reasonable compared to the one in Western Europe or the US, it is still 2 times to 3 times higher in Japan than Malaysia. In Malaysia, though the cost of living in Malaysia is increasing, when you eat out, you can have one meal at $2 to $5 US generally. But in Japan, it is 5 to over 10 US dollars generally. And for dinner, it is generally over 10 US dollars. Of course, I just mentioned the average range of price. 2. This is a part of living cost, but in Malaysia, an extremely large house or condos is available at much lower price than Japan. I once heard from one of my Malaysian friends living relatively near from the capital city, Kuala Lumpur, and he said his apartment rent was about 450 US dollars per month. It was just a normal apartment, but there is relatively a large kitchen, a very big living room, 2 shower rooms, 1 relatively big bedroom, 2 middle-sized rooms. For the Japanese standard, the size of the apartment is relatively large, and apartment rent was bargained for the location. In Japan, considering the location of the size of his apartment, it could cost over 2,000 US dollars per month in Japan in the similar conditions. Also, for your better understanding, let me introduce a general amount of income Japanese people can get after retirement as pension. After retirement, Japanese people receive pension from Japanese government. Most of the time, they also receive pension from the company they worked for until they retire. So I do not know about the amount of the company pension. It would vary for each person's case. When it comes to the government pension, each person generally receives 700 to 800 US dollars per month. So in case of a married couple, they can receive 1,400 to 1,600 US dollars per month. So it can most probably pay rent in Malaysia. And in some case, some amount of living costs can be also covered as well. On this government pension, the tax is not charged from either Malaysian government or Japanese government. So Japanese residents in Malaysia can receive 100% of their own pension on their hand. Additionally, Japanese people save a lot of money while they are working. And as I mentioned earlier, most of them can also receive company pension as well. So in Malaysia, Japanese people can have a pretty good standard of living. Anyway, let me continue to introduce other advantages Japanese people have in their mind when moving to Malaysia. 3. The distance from Japan. Geographically, Malaysia is near from Japan. Of course, compared to Taiwan, South Korea, China, Vietnam, the Philippines, etc., Malaysia is far from Japan. But if we take a direct flight, it only takes 6 to 7 hours between Kuala Lumpur and Tokyo. Also, flights are frequent, and they are not that expensive. That's why when Japanese people need to or want to temporarily go back to Japan from Malaysia, it is almost hassle-free in any aspect. 4. Only a little time difference. The time difference between Malaysia and Japan is only 1 hour. This makes things also convenient when Japanese people in Malaysia do something with the people in Japan, such as phone conversation, business meeting. 5. The country is safe generally. In Malaysia, unless we do something really ridiculous, such as following unknown people when invited to their house while walking in the middle of the town, it is relatively safe. The society is stable. There is no dangerous demonstration against the government, etc. There are not many critically dangerous crimes like mass killing by shooting by guns, bombing, etc., especially in the past few decades. So if we are familiar with the place, our life is stable and safe. 6. Mild climate. Malaysia is generally a bit hot compared to Japan, but Malaysia's tropical climate is loved by Japanese people because it is normally considered better than too cold winter and too warm and humid Japanese summer. If you have experienced Japanese summer, you'd know how uncomfortable Japan is, in summer especially. In Malaysia, all through a year, this mild climate continues, and this is one of the biggest advantages in Malaysia. 7. English is widely available. English is widely available, at least around KL, Penang, where a lot of Japanese people move to. This is a very big advantage since, at least compared to English, much less Japanese people are able to speak Malay. 8. Generally, people are very friendly to Japanese people. A lot of Malaysian people like Japan. So Japanese people feel relieved and happy to be surrounded by Malaysian people. One of the potential reasons why Malaysian people are very nice to Japanese people could be because the influence of Look East policy, in which Malaysia tries to learn technology and other things from East Asia, which was strongly conducted by one of the very good past prime ministers of Malaysia in 1980s. 9. Delicious Asian food. Malaysian foods would be one of the best or the most suitable food for Japanese people. In Malaysia, Chinese food, Malay food, Indian food are widely available anywhere in big cities. Japanese people love Chinese food. Japanese people love Malay food, such as the one containing coconut. Japanese people also love Indian food. Furthermore, in Malaysia, if Japanese people miss Japanese food, a lot of relatively good Japanese food is available. So Japanese people don't have to be worried about missing Japanese food either. Also, if some Japanese people love Korean food, delicious Korean food is also available in Malaysia. 10. The last advantage I am going to mention today is big Japanese community. Because of the above reasons I have mentioned so far, a lot of Japanese people are in Malaysia. This fact works as virtuous circle and becomes the key to invite more Japanese people to Malaysia. As you might have had better understanding, Malaysia is a very attractive country for Japanese people. Thank you so much for watching my video up until here today. See you in the next video. Bye bye.